All right, so it's a beautiful day here at GDC Europe, and with us is Harald Riegler, COO from Sproing. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
So it's great that you want to do this interview with us. We're very pleased. So my first question for you is, so here panel at the GDC Europe talks about the challenges of managing multi-site development. So what kind of challenges are the ones we have to fear? What is actually going on, and what are the major issues you have to take into account when dealing with this?
I think first you need to be clear about what kind of reasons are behind trying to achieve multi-site development. Mostly it's, I would say, cost-driven, and because you're trying to not have your team sizes go up too much during production, and so you end up working with distributed teams in multiple locations. And it's just a big logistical challenge in terms of more management overhead and cultural issues if it's in different countries, and managing that becomes a priority. Otherwise you won't have any successful projects.
Okay, so now that you're talking about these cultural issues, do you have any experiences? What are the most difficult things you have experienced yet?
We've been dealing with companies all over the planet pretty much, and the cultural issues are not to be underestimated. That's the biggest lesson there. I think if you go into the projects and you're oblivious about what kind of effects that will actually have or can potentially have, then you can be in a lot of trouble really quickly. So you need to spend time thinking about what the work culture and the business culture is in the country you are working with.
Okay, so now that we're here at GDC Europe, do you think there's a certain European perspective on gaming? So something we can transport with this kind of event?
Absolutely. I think the European perspective to gaming is the diversity. I think that games in Germany and France and the UK, they're not really the same. Some of our more bigger developers have specialized in more international, generally accepted type of gaming culture, but a lot of the smaller developers make games that are primarily aimed at their home territory or at a specific territory, and that is something that I think only GDC Europe can cover in this scale, because we have so many different people from so many different countries out of Europe.
Okay, so that's definitely one of the most interesting aspects here, I think. So now coming to something completely different, or not completely different. So you're a member of the managing committee of GAME.
Yeah.
So what is the main goal of GAME, and what do you want to achieve with this association?
Well, the goal of the association is to create a better environment for German game developers or German-speaking game developers. When we started the organization a couple of years ago, there was almost no such thing as real political awareness and a real political network that would support game development. And the biggest achievement of GAME is that we actually managed to change that over the years. It's not just on a federal level, but also in the countries, in the individual countries, that the governments recognize the games industry as one of the leading parts of the creative industries, and that they support it with subsidy programs, and that they have a general higher level of acceptance, not just have the violence aspect dominate the public discussion. And that's something that we're really proud of.
Sproing seems to be developing mostly for Nintendo consoles right now. So why did you decide to go with this platform?
Some of it is just driven by economics, because the team size of Sproing is the right team size to be developing for Nintendo platforms, and only in the last year we've grown to a size where we are covering other consoles as well. There is right at this moment it's actually pretty difficult to develop for Nintendo consoles, because the way of the market for Nintendo games is currently developing. So it's actually I'm actually finding it a little bit more difficult to, not from the technical point of view, but sort of from the economics, to make Nintendo game projects actually work out.
Okay. So I saw on your website that, of course, you have some casual games dealing with a certain chicken, but you also have some other games like medical programs. Is that right? Something like this. So, what made you deal with this kind of project?
Those kind of projects are older, so we were dealing a lot with these kind of online games when the company was still younger and smaller. Today it basically has no importance for us at all. We've really focused, we've also left the casual game space pretty much and are focusing on what we call sort of the more core games on the Nintendo and also on the other platforms.
Where will Sproing's Little Frog jump to in future? What are your future plans?
Well, we are continuing our path of organic growth that we've done in the last couple of years, and that has worked out really well for us. There are actually a couple of new things coming up, but we can't really talk about them yet. We're trying to do a couple of different things than what we've done in the past, and we will see in a year or so whether that has been successful or not.
Okay, we will talk to you again in a year, of course. So what's the most important reason for you to attend GDC Europe? Panels or business matching, or what makes you come here?
It's pretty much everything. Okay. There's always something that is interesting on the panels. When you've been around for a long time, not everything is new, but there's always a couple of highlights that I really want to attend. And then, of course, there's the networking business aspect of it, talking to all the people, and just from all the discussions you have, you take home so much news and information to digest. So I really love coming here.
All right, that's it. So thank you for taking your time with us, and it was a pleasure. And have a good day and have a good week here at GDC Europe.
Thank you. Thank you.